BJ Penn posting about his mother not being real. Have you seen any of the stuff?
No.
Okay.
He posted this on Instagram Live.
On Instagram, I'm not sure if it was live or not, but this is basically what he said. So this is the first of two videos.
The first two videos, Penn stayed with a selfie style, cussing a lot towards Paul Abley.
I tried to look him up.
Caption overlaid on the video reads, F the Abley family, Paul Abley, with the help of the government, murdered my mom and brother. Like and share. They're trying to steal everything from my family.
Then he goes on.
This lady, then it says, the video then showed Penn's mother cooking in a kitchen, walking a dog as she continued to explain his theory, while admitting he's had thoughts of resorting to physical harm. These are some red flags, kids.
Yes.
Then he says, this lady right here, referring to his mom, look at her ass and legs. She's acting like my 70-year-old mother, but she's not my 70-year-old mother. And it's interesting when you Google Lorraine Alby, our house pops up because this lady acts like Lorraine in you. So you Google Lorraine Abley, and this house pops up. Then you look at my mom, name starts popping. Oh, God. She's trying to steal everything, and this is not my mother. And I'm putting this out because she's saying she's going to get an attorney and try to do something. She's trying to throw me out if I attack her. She'll try to do something. Restraining order or something else. Yeesh.
The video is gone, so. But let me show you.
Keep going down.
This is an old video.
Yeah.
When he was campaigning.
Damn, man.
And then it shows his history of.
Yeah, he's had a DUI arrest, a bar brawl assault. This is fighters doing fighter shit. That bar assault.
So I wanted to show you Chael Sonnen's take on it.
Oh, let me hear it.
Has come out. He wants this woman claiming to be his mother to be arrested. Arrested for being an imposter. And they have replaced her with a quasi lookalike. Like BJ knows it's not her, but the rest of the world doesn't. Oh, by the way, what is the motive for this? Well, this new woman is also going to make a claim to the family's assets. If that's not the goddamnedest story that I've ever heard, it's definitely the damnedest story I've ever told you. I just know that I have seen BJ perform before, and he's a very good performer. Now, that would break my heart if this were true. It was 2008 when this happened. Was it a letter BJ claimed that he received? But it was from George's team. There was no plan to George St. Pierre's camp. I knew the whole thing was a work, and I've known him too long. I've fought on the BJ promotions. He'd been to Team Quest. We trained together like it's different. Now, if there's something more sinister here that we have to deal with, perhaps I'll have to come back and do a rebuttal to this. But for now, you're dealing with a very smart guy, with a promoter himself at one point. Before you go check BJ into the insane asylum, make sure it's not you that's being the fool. BJ.
I know.
Listen, I love Chael, love BJ. And I'll give you a little story about BJ, but I love Chael. Obviously, he's doing it for the hot take and the views, and I get the game, Chael. You know I love you, Uncle Chael. This isn't like a job, as he says, from BJ. My concern, I think the majority of people's concern is head trauma, and when you start threatening physical violence and these crazy conspiracy theories that your mom's not real, like clearly there's an issue there, and obviously he has his legal troubles. He's not doing great. I think we're going to start to see more of this from some of your favorite fighters because of social media. That fourth wall is broken down now, and these guys have a way of getting out to the masses, and it gets picked up by all these MMA sites, and obviously guys like me and Chael commentate on it, and it's not good because before with these fighters, you didn't really know. Like, did you know how Coleman was doing until, the media started talking about it, or a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys, when War Machine, did that horrific shit, social media really wasn't a thing, but if it was, there had been signs. So with BJ, it's heartbreaking. He's one of the guys that we all, if you're an MMA fan, I mean, if you just came on during COVID, you might not know who BJ is, and you're a low information individual, as Brian would say. BJ's, on the Mount Rushmore of MMA. You're talking about his nickname was the Prodigy. He got his black belt, I think, in 4 or 5 years. First American to win the Pan Ams. Like, complete freak. Great at everything. His takedown defense, His flexibility, his boxing was insane. The Ruka shorts coming out to the Hawaii song, like, oh God, if you miss BJ in his prime, you are missing out. One of the very, very best and greatest to ever freaking do it. When it comes to this mental health stuff, I'm not a doctor, and I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn, and I don't have much insight into it. I'm fortunate. I know. Everyone thinks FCT. Maybe down the road. I don't right now, nor do I have anyone really in my life who suffers from depression or all this shit that, that a lot of these guys deal with. So I can't really relate to it or commentate on it. Probably the best person to talk to or listen to on this would be Luke Thomas. His mom actually committed suicide from some similar signs. And he has a better insight than I do. I'm just a guy. But I absolutely adore BJ. BJ and I did a appearance for the UFC when I was fighting the UFC in Hawaii, in his hometown, at a UFC gym, which was BJ owned it at the time. But because UFC, what they used to do with the big names, like Bisping has UFC gyms in England, Frankie Edgar has one in New Jersey, Chuck Liddell has some here in California. I want to say Josh Thompson had one in Sacramento, but they would, or Uriah did in Sacramento. They would line up the real big names, and then they would give them a certain amount of equity in the UFC gyms. So BJ in Hawaii, obviously, there's nobody bigger. So they flew me, Anthony Pettis, I want to say Benson Henderson. I forget who else. Might have been just the three of us. And BJ was with us, and he was normal then. This is probably 15 years ago, so that's a long time ago, but he was normal then. Oh, and Chuck Liddell, because that's where the story goes. So Chuck, Chuck's Chuck, and he's lived a rough life. And with Chuck, like, people chalk it up to CT. That guy went hard in the paint with drugs and all that shit. So there's some leeway there. It's a gray area, right? We don't know if it's that or if it's the head trauma. Either way, it's probably a combination of both. But he's doing his thing. Everyone adores Chuck. But Chuck at the time, because we were traveling around Hawaii, I forget what it is, the Big Island. We were traveling around all the time, so we were constantly in vans. And Chuck must have told the same story 4 times. But it was he would take forever to tell it because he'd keep restarting. He'd be like, I walk in the door, right? Like, I walk in the door. So, and when I walk, so the door is here. And so I walk in the door and I take it left. And you're like, okay. And then you go, so I'm at this club, right? And I walk in the door. And like I said, I take a left. And now when I take a left and I'm right at the door, and so the door is here, and you're like, holy shit, get to the point of the story. But it's Chuck. So we're all like, oh, like, listen every word. And everyone's quiet. No one's snickering or nothing, And he gets off the bus, and BJ just looks at me and goes, and I just came off a loss to, might have been the Ben Rothwell or the Nogueira fight. I forget. I was just coming off a loss, and I got knocked out. And BJ goes, Schaub, if you don't start moving your fucking head, you're going to end up like that. And we were dying laughing. Yeah, BJ was the man. When he came, I forget, right after that Hawaii one, he invited me out there to train with him. And then there was communications, like a month later, he was going to fly me out to Hawaii because Josh Thompson would go out there. I think Pettis would go out there. And then they wanted me to come out there. But it would have been a great experience for me and just see how he trains. I would have loved that, right? Like, I went to GSP's camp and stayed with him and did all this cool shit. It would have been great to go with BJ. But for me, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to Hawaii. Then there's he didn't have like big guys in his camp. So it just didn't make a lot of sense. But that's one thing I regret. I wish I would have done it. But I love BJ. Adore BJ. He's one of my heroes. He was so talented. But with Chael, Chael's like, he was a promoter and this. I get that, dude. But come on, man. Come on. Threatening violence and with his background, and come on, dude. That's scary shit. Now, let's say in some weird world that his mom's not a CIA plant or whatever the hell he's referring to her as, and she's actually his mom. Think how his mom feels. And that's probably the truth. That's actually his mom. He's not doing well and thinks that she's a government plant who's trying to steal his stuff. These are red flags.
I think she already notices his mental cognition collapsing. So she's like, she wants to probably take control of his assets so he doesn't go crazy.
Yeah, sell it all and
then
do all that stuff.
His brain's just like, oh no, she's trying to take this somewhere. But you know who else made it out of this similar type of thing is Jason Mayhem Miller. Remember he went crazy for a while.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's awesome now.
Yeah, he's crushing it now.
It's possible for BJ. Like
100%. 100%. You just got to get him help.
Yep.
You got him help. The scary if I'm the UFC, not publicly, behind closed doors, I'm all over this.
You said it many times before. Yes,
I'm all over this. If you want to take a hit, especially during these TV right deals, which I'm sure we'll get to, with the leak of Netflix, and I have insider information on that. If you're the UFC and you're going through, their mainstream, although BJ with this mainstream, like I bet you the suits at Netflix have never even heard of BJ Penn. The suits at ESPN don't even know who BJ Penn is. But again, if I'm the UFC behind closed doors, and they've done this because I had a close friend who suffers from similar stuff, they were on it. They were on it. They were on it. So you might think, oh, the UFC just uses these guys, and once they're done, they don't help them out. That's not true. I know a ton of guys they've reached out to and taken care of. So if I'm the UFC, yeah, especially BJ, I'm flying out there and trying, and hopefully he's open to it. Hopefully he's open to it.
Yeah, they have to want to get the help before anyone can actually change them. So
Yeah.
Yep.
That stuff. Yeah, BJ's boy, if you miss this fighting, and just as a person, like such a cool dude. He was so cool. Just cool in every facet. His shorts, the white shorts with the black belt. Oh, they're fucking dope. He was so cool. The whole Ruka brand, like, oh my God. Such a cool dude.